Welcome to Amigos PC. If you were looking for a podcast with high standards and an appreciation for the finer things in life, like water polo, ballet, equestrian riding, cricket, and trips to the countryside, you're in the wrong place. If you're looking for a podcast that celebrates drinking, random thoughts, wacky conspiracies, memes, crypto, cinema, and a lot of other things that don't really make any sense, then you're in the right place. This is Amigos PC, and here are your hosts, Scott and Mark.
Scammed. Our week in crypto.
Well, not really.
Well, sort of. Well,
I mean,
we're going to touch on it. So this is So we've talked about, bringing everyone up to speed on what happened. We talked about how we bought our rig, our first rig that we got. Then we started upgrading cards. We've been buying more cards here and there, adding to it. We went from our 6-card setup to now 12, 13 card setup, hypothetically.
we're at 17, buddy.
But they're not pushing all of them, are we?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So we're at 17 right now. And then we have the L3. Which is doing our Doge as well, which you might have saw in the last video. So we moved up quite a bit. This is kind of speeding you up to where we were. We've been on this journey for 3 months, 4 months, I'll say. 3 months.
A lifetime.
Yeah, it has been a lifetime. At least it feels that way. So we've now, now we're into the stage where we're just adding more cards. We are, trying to find the good deals, watching the market, seeing where it's at. We want to change what coins we're doing. And then this week, as Mark said, we got scammed. Go ahead and say what happened.
I mean, we didn't really get scammed, but
that's the hype factor.
Something happened. Actually, a couple events happened, and it was kind of in our favor, but not in our favor. Unfortunately, it happened to someone that I just recently met over the internet and kind of socialized in how we connected. They got scammed, unfortunately. But we... as we've been talking, we buy cards secondhand, and we were in the midst of not in the midst, but I worked a deal out with somebody to hopefully acquire another 1660 Ti, and we bought it. We paid way under value, which should have been the first red flag. I didn't really do the due diligence that I normally do in like looking and just checking the card out via the pictures provided, because we could have hit the refund button and sent the damn thing back, but it's at this point it's in our hands and it works, it functions the way it's supposed to. But when we got it, it's not a 1660 Ti. It's just a basic 1660. The difference between those two cards essentially is 5 to 10 mega hash. So it just depends, because the 1660 that we do have working for us right now is micron memory, and getting it above 30 is very difficult. Well, not very difficult, but you got to fine tune it enough and get it higher than 30 mega hash. At that point is it's kind of limited, unless you have, is it Hynix? Hynix memory can get up to 35 mega hash on a 1660 Ti or a 1660 Super. So we get this card 1660, and I basically just texted Scott and I'm like, we got bamboozled.
I mean, we did and we didn't, because after you did realize that it wasn't the right one, you did realize that basically we still got it for a decent price, right? That's what you mentioned.
Yeah, we got it way under. I mean, these cards go for $300, $400, $500 $600. Like, these cards go for a pretty penny. And a basic 1660, we got it for less than $250. I talked the guy down is pretty low. I'll edit that out. But
That's funny.
I'll just put a beep.
Yep. Beep. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so it's not really wasn't really a loss, but it just wasn't.
No.
It just didn't go as expected, I guess you can say. So,
Right.
but and then, so you were also mentioning that you said you were talking to somebody that was scammed, and you want to talk about what happened with that situation. So, break that down.
Yeah, so I found another card, a 5600 XT on OfferUp, and it was extremely low in price. And I started talking to the guy who listed it, and we were trying to work out a deal where I would pay crypto for it instead of a US dollar monetary transaction. And I was like, well, just wait. We're getting another payout here pretty soon. Give me till Friday. And essentially that was like a week away. And I didn't want to utilize any crypto that we had in the pocket at our current time. So come Friday, the guy's blowing me up on OfferUp, and I really hadn't been checking my messages or anything like that.
That's not like
and I know, right? It isn't.
Yep.
I for some reason I just didn't want to get onto OfferUp at that point, because I'm always on OfferUp trying to find another card.
I know.
In any downtime. Yeah, and just wasn't feeling it, doing my normal day-to-day routine stuff, and then finally near the end of the day I hopped on to go check the message and respond to him, and his message was gone. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, red flag.
Yeah.
I go back to the email, because you get notifications via email when someone messages you on OfferUp, if you're opted into that. And I'm checking that, and I see the picture, and there's a link you can always push, and it'll take you to the app to that message, and it wasn't taking me to the message. So I'm like, okay, this guy got banned. Shortly thereafter, I get a notification because I have notifications set up in OfferUp for graphics cards, and so I'm just looking at new cards, different cards that just got listed, and there's a picture of that card, of that 5600. I'm like, it's the same picture. Pull it up, and it's this guy. Well, his name's Mike. He's like, has like he edited the picture, and it shows scam and all this other, like, don't buy from this guy. And so I was like, wow, like, it was a scam. Had we worked a deal out, that could have been us. It's like a Brady situation.
Yeah.
Like we were this close.
Yeah.
That was us. People that don't know what the reference I just made, our local radio host here in Phoenix, anytime a catastrophe happens, he was on or around the situation, months or years
ago,
prior, and he
feels connected to it.
That could have been me.
So that was basically us. It could have been us. But yeah, think about it. It was
been
almost
us,
like you were protected a little bit, or looking out for you in a sense, because you weren't checking your messages, and if you would have took the bait on that guy before he got blocked, you could have sent him money or whatever, and could have been out the money. So it did kind of work out.
Exactly.
And it sucks for that other guy.
It could have just been like my spidey senses were already going off. Like, I can't. I'm not feeling it right now, so I'm not gonna waste my time in chatting you up.
Right.
So I ended up reaching out to this guy though, that posted the picture, scam, all this other stuff, and I'm like, hey man, good looking out. Thanks. Basically, thank you for posting this.
Yeah.
Keep putting awareness out there. And we ended up talking, and found out he just started mining like a month ago or something like that, and we were just asking questions, talking shop basically for the most part. We swapped some
war stories.
overclock settings.
Oh.
War stories, yeah, war stories.
Well, I mean, you think about it.
No, we were just
problems,
talking.
I mean, the problems that happen and troubleshooting.
Yeah.
Because that's really all this is, so much. So there's definitely insight that you get from both sides of other people's experience.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because he did get scammed. He did send this person, money, and he's the one that reported him, the original lister, and why his messages disappeared for me because OfferUp took that reporting and blocked him basically and took down the listing. But yeah, it's great. It was a great networking opportunity though, because had that not happened, wouldn't have met this guy we didn't really meet him, virtual meet.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're friends on the internet.
Yep.
And
now he's gonna start listening to our podcast.
Well, yeah, he's gonna listen to the podcast.
That, and he also mentioned that he has a friend in law enforcement that he's gonna try to. He's gonna try to get.
So yeah, he did say that he was gonna get some of his. He had a buddy that's in the FBI. I don't know if I want to go too much in depth with that because I don't know his real situation with everything. Yeah, I mean, keep it under wraps. But hopefully, that guy gets caught for doing swindling.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's not the first time.
The original. No, exactly. And that brings up a good point. Is you do have to be cautious.
Yeah.
Even if it's on eBay or some of the bigger guys, you gotta just filter through. Good tactics, which I can show some screenshots at this point with OfferUp and just trying to figure out what's like a valid. What do you look for? And that's a conversation we had I had with this guy too. I'm all like, the signs weren't there that he was a scammer because he had a lot of positive reviews. OfferUp makes you do all of this verification stuff, so the less of these verifications you have, the more red flags appear. And he had the whole kit and caboodle of them. Because there's like 5 or 6 that you can go through to validate your identity to make it come off like you're, more legitimate in OfferUp. And the guy that originally listed the car, he had all these factors accumulated. So that's another thing that's going to lead me to believe if Mike does get his buddy from the FBI involved, OfferUp has dude's ID.
Yeah, that's good.
Because that's one of the verification factors. And if
just be true to your stuff you're selling, and you know what I mean, that you're buying. You know what I mean. Just that sucks. So there's people out there that are doing that.
That are scamming it like that. Yeah.
Just be cautious.
So a couple things to look for. Even though that in this situation, a lot of positive reviews and all the verifications were done, those are benefiting factors to validate someone's legitimate for the most part. Figure out how they're talking back to you when through the text messages. Like if they're just if they're not hesitant on trying to make a deal with you, like if you're, I don't want to say lowball, but if you're trying to get the best price, right? You're trying to protect your ROI. Just see where their negotiation is at. Typically, when you are talking to people and you're trying to get them down in price, if they're on the jump to agree with your lower price, be hesitant. Like, it might be a deal, it may not. Just be cautious.
And also the listing price too. It's too good.
It already started with low, so that was where the red flag was.
It was already low.
He listed it for 300 and some change, where a 5600 XT it can easily be obtained for $600-700 bucks. So you're already half price there, and that is a red flag. In most cases. But you start to have conversations with people, maybe they just don't know.
Yeah, they don't know what they have. Because that's a thing too.
Yeah, because we've actually experienced that. Like, they don't know what they have, and we acquired 12, 13 cards. In that way, near the end of those cards, we our 580s. Near the end, they started to realize where the market really
value
was,
going
but
up.
at the beginning, they kind of didn't know, and it was,
Or they were just okay getting rid of them. I think it was they were getting rid of them for what they bought at the time that they bought them, because those were brand new cards for them when they bought them. I don't know, years ago or whatever it was. Is the story that we were told, but that worked out obviously in our favor.
But I mean, we made the conclusion that it was clear at first that they didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going on, because I mean, they were ready to give us a bulk deal. Cards were just I wish we could have took advantage of that deal.
Tell me about it. Yeah, we were a little hesitant on dropping that kind of money. I think that's what it was. We were trying to do it in chunks and see how we would progress. But yep. And then you want to talk about the other run-in with the card that we had this week, where you.
Oh yeah. So we thought we were going to be brilliant.
Yep.
Or at least I did.
It's a
showed
team
Scott
effort.
this card.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, another 1660 Ti. So we're running hot on these cards. Like, it's just, I don't know what the deal is, but
people are just trying to get rid of them.
This one turned out to, this one turned out to be an actual 1660 Ti. So it's not like that happened. We knew what we were buying when we bought it. The guy had it listed for 150, and so it's already low. You doing all your cautions of everything, but the guy was very transparent with his listing, and then what with me, essentially he even like double checked it, like, are you sure? And so I talked him down a little bit more on the 150 price.
Did you mention already that it was broken, or no?
No, I haven't mentioned that yet.
Sorry, I just spoiled it.
So yeah, spoiler alert. The card was broken. We knew that. I knew that. Like, the way he described it, though, he said he fried the card, and I'm like, well, but the way he described it, his PC still turned on, and he could see the specs of the graphics card. So it led me to believe that maybe he just, the BIOS is messed up. There's something there that we potentially could fix.
The power was off. Here's what we were thinking.
It's something,
like power to push it, something like that. But that.
Yeah, or the power supply, like the fuse in the power supply probably popped or something along those lines. But I'm like, I don't know. So, we get the card, and I start to mess with it the day we got it, and put it into one of our test motherboards, and pulled it up and running. And the system we use, Hive, detected something, but it didn't detect the card. So it did, but it didn't. Like, it detected that there was something there. It didn't show a card at all, though. It just showed the motherboard and the disabled graphics that we have on it. But then when I turned the rig off, it showed that we were missing a card. So, which at that point we would have had 18 cards up and running all at once.
Crazy. Moving on up.
I know. And so I text Scott, and I'm like, it's not, it didn't turn on. I'm going to play with it a little bit more this weekend, which would be right now. And I will, keep testing it. In the meantime, I think I'm going to list it on eBay. And Scott's like, that's a good idea.
Yep, that is. So we can get some of our money back, or all of it, or more of it. It's a win-win.
Exactly. So I listed it on eBay, and lo and behold, last night somebody gave us an offer of $310, which is more than double what we paid for the card.
So it's a success story.
Yeah, and I was very transparent in my listing, saying, it's for parts only. It doesn't work. Our loss, your gain. It doesn't power on. I don't know what could be wrong. So this person, whoever it may be, offered that amount, and
so it's another two.
Now we're just
another two guys in another location doing the same thing, when they're going to flip it later. Just a
named PC Amigos.
Just a running circle of life of that card.
right? Hey, whatever works. I mean, I'm transparent. I'm not trying to screw anybody over.
Yep.
If you want to,
No,
that's
yeah,
what
I
you want
mean,
to pay
they
for the
probably know
car.
how to
Great.
take them apart and actually probably make it new again, and they probably sell it as working. You know, who knows? Or use it to
Well,
mine.
and
Who
here's
knows?
my thing: like, if I can troubleshoot the card, I'm gonna do that. You know, and I'll try my best to get it to work, and that's the
Oh, maybe don't get it to work, because if you get it to work, then you're selling a working card. Then
well, I'm canceling the transaction.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Fucking money printer. I'm not getting rid of a money
Yeah.
printer.
that's funny.
No, but yeah, the mentality was like, all right, let's get this and see. You know, we were taking the risk, right? And okay, well, worst case, we'll list it and just try to get our money back.
Yep.
But if I can fix it, we'll try to fix it. Which I'm still gonna play with it this weekend for sure.
There you go.
But yeah, you know, we went into it knowing the status that it was in, so we
risk.
didn't get screwed or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's unfortunate that it still didn't work. So, you know, we're troubleshooting the card, it doesn't turn on, you know, listed on eBay, and somebody decided that, you know, it's worth more than what we paid for it. Well, they don't know what we paid for it, but you know, it's still, they're getting more than, or you know, they're gonna probably use it for parts or whatever they do. But what was I saying? Oh, I don't have a problem troubleshooting a card. You know, going through the basic steps of troubleshooting and trying to get one to work, because I've already bricked more than half of our cards and brought them back to life. So I know that I can do that.
There you go.
And that's what I thought maybe with this card. It just got bricked and, you know, just trying to bring it back to life. One thing I won't do is some of these YouTube gimmicks of people throwing their graphics card into an oven to try to get it to work again. I'd rather take it to somebody else. Like, I'm not going to I'll take apart a graphics card and put it back together, because, you know, eventually we got to start, you know, replacing thermal pads and things like that on these cards. But I'm not going to intentionally just like ruin the card, because there are videos out there on YouTube talking about putting their graphics card in an oven to try to get it to work again. Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's just dumb. Like,
doesn't seem wise.
could it work? Sure, because I mean the whole thought mentality behind it is you're heating up all the little soldered parts, right, that are
better.
there, and they're melting and making a better
I
connection.
might try that after this.
Yeah,
No.
just throw one right in the oven, see what happens.
See what happens.
No, and it's just not. It's not worth it. Even if the card is you're at the last point of everything, and you're like, I got nothing to lose because the card's broken. Well, you do kind of, because you can put it on, you know, eBay or things like that, and be transparent about, hey, this card doesn't work. It's for parts. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sell it as parts, get some of your money, and go buy another card.
Exactly. Cool. Well, is there anything else we wanted to bring up on this crypto journey episode?
Oh, we're doing good. Well, we're gonna start documenting a major purchase that we just
We
did.
did, yeah. So we'll talk about that in the up and coming episodes. We have some items coming from a slow boat from China.
Yep.
Basically.
We're in bed with China, guys.
Yep, we got some machines coming. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. We'll get them up and running and do some video content and things like that for those.
Okay.
Now, if you guys like this type of content, this is working for you, or we're helping you in some way, shape,
Or if you have
form,
questions,
fashion. Yeah,
comments.
or if it is driving questions, make sure in the comments below, put your question in, and we'll definitely answer. We're always, I don't want to say always, but we get the notifications, or at least I do, and I'm more than happy to respond to anything that you have. One thing I will say is we will never reach out to you directly unless you hit up like us on Instagram. Then you'll get like our auto notification trying to check out our podcast. But beyond that, Never going to ask for any emails or anything like that. You're more than welcome to join our community on Discord and continue the conversation with us and other like-minded podcasters and crypto miners. And like, subscribe, and share this with anybody who you think that it could provide value. Essentially, we're just trying to be transparent with our story. We almost got scammed pretty bad on this one, and I'd rather be open and tell you guys about it versus just like, and not saying that
it happens to everybody, or it could happen to everybody.
Yeah.
Basically. They're out there.
Yeah, well, I don't want to just keep showing the positive spin of our entire journey like that. That's not unrealistic.
No.
Like, it's not always good news.
Yep.
Things happen.
And that's what you have to prepare for in this crypto world of buying and building and troubleshooting and
Welcome to Amigos PC.
That's for sure.
If you were looking for a podcast with high standards and an appreciation for the finer things in life, like water polo, ballet, equestrian riding, cricket, and trips to the countryside, you're in the wrong place.
Oh, yeah.
If you're looking for a podcast that celebrates drinking, random thoughts, wacky conspiracies, memes, crypto, cinema, and a lot of other things that don't really make any sense, then you're in the right place.
Yeah, that's just part of the journey.
This is Amigos PC, and here are your hosts, Scott and Mark.
Because we are still profitable and solvent, so just being transparent. Yeah, we're showing you the growing pains, and everything's not green grass, and we're not always succeeding in everything. We go through hurdles, but we don't let it get us down, because we had one card that we knew didn't work and we couldn't get it to work. We tried, we shot for the moon. We had another card that wasn't the card that we bought, but we bought it low enough to where it's not like a huge deal. And then we have this situation where someone did get scammed. Luckily, it wasn't us, but it could have been. And I took the precautions, and it seemed like my spidey senses were going off that day. And luckily, the person that did get scammed, he has some connections, and hopefully, he can get some type of resolve, hopefully his money back too. Yeah. Good luck, Mike, with everything. But beyond that, it's not always roses, and we're going to be here to show you, what we're going through, because I'm sure, it's going to happen again, and we'll just document it from there too.
Definitely.
All right, guys, Amigos out.
Welcome to Amigos PC. If you were looking for a podcast with high standards and an appreciation for the finer things in life, like water polo, ballet, equestrian riding, cricket, and trips to the countryside, you're in the wrong place. If you're looking for a podcast that celebrates drinking,